Today, in honor of Disneyland's 70th anniversary, we wanted to go back, way back, and look at the most popular anniversaries Disneyland has celebrated since it first opened its gates in 1955. Some were magical, some were weird, and some were honestly kinda chaotic. So let's start with the one that kicked it all off. Disneyland's 10th anniversary. Disneyland celebrated its very first decade with a full year of magic. The park was decked out with decorations. Special events happened all throughout the year, and the big highlight was a parade like no other, Fantasy on Parade. It wasn't just floats passing by. It was a show on parade, where floats would stop along the route and break into dance routines right in front of the guests. Totally next level for the time. But that's not all. This celebration also gave us something brand new. The very first Disneyland ambassador, created by Jack Lindquist. The role was designed to represent the park around the world, and tour guide Julie Rhyme became the first to wear that title. She spent the year traveling as the official face of Disneyland. Pretty iconic, right? There was even a special episode of The Wonderful World of Disney, where Walt Disney and Julie gave viewers a sneak peek at upcoming attractions, like It's a Small World, Pirates of the Caribbean, and The Haunted Mansion, all before they became legendary. And, of course, there was a big show in front of Sleeping Beauty Castle, with Disney characters, a giant birthday cake with dancing candles, and even Mary Poppins, Disney's newest star, joining the party. Then, Walt himself took a moment to look back, sharing a quick history of how the park was built, and giving us a tour of some of the attractions from that era: the Matterhorn, Jungle Cruise, the Flying Saucers, Mine Train through Nature's Wonderland, and, of course, the Enchanted Tiki Room. The 20th anniversary. This wasn't just about the park. It was tied to something else. A 15-month-long salute to the United States bicentennial. To celebrate, Disneyland rolled out what was, at the time, the most elaborate parade in its history. It was called America on Parade, and it featured 50 floats and 150 giant performers. We're talking costumes that stood over 8 feet tall. It was bold, colorful, and impossible to ignore. And of course, you can't have a celebration like that without fireworks. That year, a brand new red, white, and blue version of Fantasy in the Sky lit up the night with patriotic flair. But one of the most heartwarming moments? Disneyland welcomed back Christine Vess Watkins and her cousin, Michael Schwartner, the very first guests to ever walk through the gates on opening day back in 1955. When they were just 5 and 7 years old. Now they were back, older, taller, and probably a little less sticky from cotton candy. 25th anniversary. Disneyland's 25th anniversary kicked off in style, literally, with a special pre-parade show at the Tournament of Roses on New Year's Day in Pasadena. Throughout the year, the celebration continued with all kinds of parades and shows. But the big centerpiece was a television special called Kraft Salutes Disneyland's 25th anniversary. It was filmed entirely at Disneyland and followed the story of a young boy visiting the park for the very first time. Along the way, he meets a series of colorful characters, all played by Danny Kaye, who shared bits and pieces of Disneyland's history with him. The special included musical performers by Donny Osmond, Michael Jackson, and of course, Danny Kaye, along with massive sing-alongs that featured real Disneyland cast members and guests. Then, in April, things got even bigger with the Family Reunion Night celebration, which brought together a lineup of stars like Michael Jackson, Freddie McMurray, Ernest Borgnine, The Carpenters, Ray Bradbury, and Elliott Gould. Yep, all of them at Disneyland. And on July 17th, the actual anniversary date, the park went all out. A 25-hour celebration that started at midnight and didn't stop until 1 a.m. the next day. One full day, plus one extra magical hour. Because hey, it was Disneyland's 25th anniversary. 30th anniversary. Disneyland's 30th anniversary is still one of the most talked about celebrations in the park's history. And a big reason for that? A massive promotion called the Gift Giver Extraordinaire. Here's how it worked. Every 30th guest entering the park that year received a prize, right at the front gate. But for the bigger rewards like vacations or even a brand new car, lucky winners got to spin the actual gift giver machine, which stood right in the middle of the hub, like something out of a game show. And yes, Disneyland pulled another full 24-hour party. Admission for this one was $30, very on theme. And every guest got a limited edition lithograph poster of Mickey and Minnie in front of the castle, drawn by legendary Disney artist Charles Boyer. The entertainment? Absolutely stacked. Different stages around the park featured live bands like Animation, Sister Sledge, Papa Do Run Run, Crash, and Gazette. And just when you thought the party was slowing down, at 4 a.m., the Main Street Electrical Parade lit up the night. And here's a milestone that changed the park operations forever. Starting that year, Disneyland began opening 365 days a year. Before that, it used to close on Mondays and Tuesdays during the off-season. So, yeah, this anniversary didn't just celebrate history, it made it. 35th anniversary. For Disneyland's 35th anniversary, things got loud, colorful, and very festive. The park debuted a brand new parade called Party Gras, a New Orleans-style celebration with massive floats, special performers, and even 40-foot-tall balloons of Disney characters floating down the street. Dancers tossed out beads to the crowd, Mardi Gras style, along with commemorative 35th anniversary coins, then pulled guests right into the street to join a giant conga line, ending in a confetti explosion that covered everything. Honestly, it was impossible not to dance. And then came something fans still remember fondly: the arrival of the Dream Machine. This giant contraption gave lucky guests the chance to win all kinds of prizes, from home video collections and plush toys to posters, collector pins, and even a brand new car. Also, during this celebration, Videopolis went from a former teen dance spot in Fantasyland to an open-air musical theater for live stage shows. There, guests could watch One Man's Dream, a tribute to the life and legacy of Walt Disney, as well as Dick Tracy starring in Diamond Double Cross. Because hey, it was 1990, and Dick Tracy was what Disney wanted to promote everywhere. 40th anniversary. When Disneyland turned 40, the celebration came with the title, 40 Years of Adventure, and a brand new e-ticket attraction to match. That year marked the grand opening of Indiana Jones Adventure, a groundbreaking ride designed by George Lucas and Walt Disney Imagineering, and one of our favorites. Then, on July 17th, something very special happened. A time capsule, known as the Time Castle, was buried in front of Sleeping Beauty Castle. Inside, a treasure trove of 1995 Disney history, cast member name tags, Indiana Jones memorabilia, Disney pins, Disneyland maps, and even 1995 Disney dollars. There was a photo of Mickey and Minnie taking their last ride on the Skyway, and a one-of-a-kind ring, designed by Leonard Russo, featuring 8 diamonds for Disneyland's future 80th anniversary, when the capsule is set to be opened, and a laser disc of the spirit of Pocahontas. The new stage show playing at the freshly transformed Fantasyland Theater. That's right, Laserdisc. And in case you're wondering how anyone's supposed to play it in the future, don't worry, they buried a Laserdisc player too, just in case. That same year, Disneyland's footprint grew, as the nearby Pan Pacific Hotel was officially renamed the Disneyland Pacific Hotel, which you may now know as Paradise Pier Hotel. 45th anniversary. Then, just 5 years later, the year 2000 arrived, and with it, Disneyland's 45th anniversary. The celebration featured a brand new fireworks show called Believe, There's Magic in the Stars, and a colorful new parade, 45 Years of Magic, with characters like the Three Little Pigs, Tarzan, Tantor, Roger Rabbit, Max, and even some surprises from Fantasia 2000. Now here's a fun detail. Michael Eisner originally wanted the parade's soundtrack to be Pomp and Circumstance, just like in the Noah's Ark sequence of Fantasia 2000. The reason? It reminded him of his son Eric's college graduation. But Disney Entertainment thought the tone might be a little too serious for a parade, so it was swapped for a medley of classic Disney songs instead. Oh, and at every performance, 70 park guests were chosen to join the parade. Dressed in tutus and animal hats, they marched down the parade route as the most chaotic, charming guest stars imaginable. That same year, the last remaining original Tomorrowland attraction got a fresh new look, They combined the old Fantasyland and Tomorrowland tracks into one big scenic route, with winding highways, forests, lakes, and ponds, giving young drivers the ultimate joyride through the future. 50th anniversary! And then the 50th anniversary came and, wow, feathers up? It was amazing! The happiest homecoming on Earth kicked off with a heartwarming moment, where footage of Walt's original dedication speech played on giant monitors around the resort, including one in Town Square, right where Walt had stood 50 years earlier to make his historic proclamation. The full speech rolled, followed by a nostalgia-packed video montage of classic Disneyland moments. Fireworks sparkled overhead, while Julie Andrews, the official ambassador for the celebration, and Art Linkletter, who was celebrating his 93rd birthday after hosting opening day TV coverage on his 43rd, shared warm words. Guests were crowned with golden Mickey Mouse ears at the entrance, and a parade of so many beloved characters poured in to celebrate. Hidden Mickeys got a makeover too, as a special anniversary scavenger hunt challenged guests to find 50 golden ears around the park. Each opening day attraction had one ride vehicle painted gold for the occasion, and Sleeping Beauty Castle dazzled with a 50th anniversary logo and regal crowns glinting in the sun. Of course, the party featured an all-new fireworks spectacular called Remember, Dreams Come True, and the amazing Walt Disney's Parade of Dreams, showcasing one of the largest casts of Disney characters ever assembled. Disneyland, the first 50 magical years. An attraction in the Opera House displayed design artwork, models, ticket books, name tags, a large new-scale model of Disneyland as it appeared on opening day, and a 17-minute humorous film on the park's first 5 decades, starring Steve Martin, who once worked the Magic Shop, and Donald Duck. This was also the first time other parks joined Disneyland Celebration. Walt Disney World, Tokyo Disney, and Disneyland Paris announced new rides and makeovers, while Hong Kong Disneyland introduced an entirely new resort. And, as a final detail, Disneyland was honored with its very own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. 60th anniversary. The most recent and spectacular anniversary celebration before this year was the 60th Diamond Celebration. And quack, did it shine! Sleeping Beauty Castle and Carthay Circle Theater were decked out in so many glittering overlays, you'd swear the whole place was carved from diamonds. Even the pavement felt fancy. Peter Pan's Flight and the Matterhorn bobsleds got reimagined with sparkling new scenes. Plus, a freshly fearsome Harold, and the legendary Hatbox Ghost finally wandered back into the Haunted Mansion after his decades-long vacation. World of Colors Celebrate also burst onto the lagoon, paying tribute to Walt's determined, wonderful dream of Disneyland becoming real. Fountains, lasers, film clips, and music all leapt together, hosted by Neil Patrick Harris and Mickey Mouse themselves. This World of Color edition was amazing. Then came Disneyland Forever, a fireworks spectacular that practically wrapped the entire park in a movie screen. It was the largest projection mapping display ever presented in a Disney park at the time. Projections lit up Sleeping Beauty Castle, every storefront on Main Street, the Matterhorn, It's a Small World, and even the mist screens over the rivers of America. So no matter where you stood, the sky turned into pure storybook. And saving the best and brightest for last, Paint the Night. Imagine 1.5 million LED lights swirling down Main Street like a river of living neon. Mickey led the charge with Tinkerbell's pixie dust, powering his paintbrush. And friends from Monsters, Inc., Cars, Toy Story, Frozen, and more lit up the route. This parade is a state-of-the-art, jaw-dropping, feather-ruffling brilliance, enough to make any animatronic duck circuit sparkle, and one of Lou's and Socko's all-time favorites, if not the all-time favorite. 70th anniversary. And now, it's time to talk about the biggest celebration yet, Disneyland's 70th anniversary. And believe me, this one's got more sparkle than a churro dipped in pixie dust. The celebration officially kicked off on May 16, 2025, and it's called Celebrate Happy. The resort will be covered in shimmering decorations, from Sleeping Beauty Castle, which gets a special 70th medallion and royal banners, to a massive new sculpture near the entrance that pays tributes to 7 decades of magic. And yes, The official anniversary anthem, Celebrate Happy, is performed by none other than the Jonas Brothers. World of Color got a dazzling new update for the occasion. World of Color, Celebrate Happiness. Hosted by Joy and the Emotions from Inside Out, this version of the show features music, water effects, lasers, and even interactive audience voting through the app. It's bright, bold, and pure Disneyland joy. Over at Disneyland Park, Wondrous Journeys returns with spectacular castle projections and fireworks on select nights. And there's a new nighttime moment at It's a Small World, called Tapestry of Happiness, where the entire facade becomes a glowing canvas of animated mosaics in the style of Mary Blair. And you know there had to be a parade. And we couldn't be happier with this announcement. Paint the Night is back and brighter than ever, with over 1.5 million LED lights, a revamped Frozen float, and Mickey leading the charge with the help of Tinkerbell's pixie dust. Honestly, we can't wait to experience it again. During the day, Disney California Adventure debuts a brand new parade called Better Together, a Pixar Pals celebration featuring characters from Toy Story, Luca, Turning Red, and more. And don't miss the Celebrate Happy Cavalcade in Disneyland, with rare characters like Duffy and Shelly May in their new 70th anniversary outfits. Of course, Mickey and the gang are getting a fashion upgrade too, with new shimmering Celebrate Happy costumes that you'll spot right away on Main Street. And just as during the 60th anniversary, several classic attractions are getting enhancements. It's a Small World reopened on May 9 with Miguel and Dante from Coco. And not only that, but a brand new final verse written by Richard M. Sherman will be added, which will debut on July 17th. Toy Story Midway Mania will feature small nods to the anniversary inside the games. And the most important of all, at the Opera House, a new rotating experience called Walt Disney, A Magical Life, will feature an all-new audio animatronic of Walt Disney himself, telling the story of how the dream came true. This will also debut on July 17th, which is Disneyland's actual anniversary date, and we are counting the days until it opens. This is shaping up to be another fantastic anniversary for Disneyland. And when you look back at all these celebrations, from 1955 to now, it's hard not to feel something spark deep inside your gears, or your heart, if you're lucky enough to have one. Every anniversary at Disneyland isn't just a party. It's a reminder that magic is real, because someone dared to dream it. That a little orange grove in Anaheim could become a kingdom of wishes. That no matter how the world changes, there's always a place where fireworks light up the sky, churros warm your hands, and Mickey still waves from a parade float like it's the very first time. For me, well, I wasn't there in 1955, but I've heard the stories in the maintenance bay. I've seen the photos. I've felt the joy on people's faces. And now, as we celebrate 70 years of Disneyland, we're not just looking back, we are celebrating forward. Because the best thing about Disneyland isn't what it was. It's about what it still dares to be. Thank you so much for watching till the end. I'll see you next time!